I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, really breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I was 6 feet under.
Okie dokie.
Hey, it's another day.
Another day, another dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Or so they say.
That is what they tell
Not
me.
much more when, thanks to the Biden administration going through and just
Destroying everything.
he's got a pen and he's got a phone and he's not scared to use either one of them.
And that's crazy how that works. And it's actually kind of scary to me.
Every time I look at this stuff, I get more and more traumatized, and I'm like, oh, dear Lord.
God. Yeah, and there's a lot of things going on, guys. Obviously, we have some stories that we didn't get to yesterday because we were talking with Carrie, but we'll get to some of those. First off, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this because this is
Important.
it's important.
Big.
It's not like it's huge
It's
stuff.
huge. It's not huge.
It's not huge, but it is an idea that's been very prevalent in universities today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what's been leaking out lately. And I'll just dive into it. How about that?
Sure.
Okay. A professor at the University of California, Riverside says that it's that heterosexuality,
Okay.
heterosexuality. Yep.
So straight.
Is a tragic concept that perpetuates misogyny, funnels men into supporting toxic masculinity, and breaks up relationships.
I'm sorry. What? Wait, what? How?
Heterosexuality is a tragic thing that basically kills society.
How?
As highlighted by Campus Reform, Jane Ward, a professor of gender and sexuality studies in the self-described lesbian, says that heterosexual relationships are inherently bad for people and their interpersonal relationships because they highlight inequality.
Huh.
In a December article for The Insider, Ward argued that by all appearances, men and women don't actually like one another.
Oh,
I like women.
I was gonna say I do too.
I like women.
A lot.
Yeah.
I happen to.
I have a wife because I like women.
You actually like women so much you decided to have 3 more.
I have 3 daughters.
Yes.
Yes.
It took you forever to finally go, all right, I'm ready to have a boy now.
Right. I know.
You waited until the
know.
very end.
At the very end.
Well,
Sort of.
the second to the end.
Well, I don't know.
I do.
She's not.
I do.
What are you talking about? You do.
I'm confident.
You have the voodoo?
I do.
That voodoo that you do?
That I know so well.
Okay.
I'm just saying. No, none of this makes sense. First off, where did you say this was? Yale?
No,
Yale.
California.
Oh,
University of California, Riverside.
Even better.
Yeah, Riverside. Mhm,
Even
mhm,
better.
Yeah.
For one, how dare this person?
How dare you?
How dare you? Only.
How dare you?
Thank you. I knew we had it somewhere.
Yeah, right there.
How can you sit there and only refer to 2 genders?
I know, right?
Out of California, University of California,
Thank you.
Riverside.
Thank you so much.
You horrible human being.
You terrible.
How do you sleep at night?
I know.
Huh?
Like, what is this?
Only putting
Two
genders?
Men and women only?
And then we go back to the whole, and it destroys relationships. What relationships?
I'm sorry, what?
What relationships? If you go up to the top part of the thing,
Destroys relationships, yeah.
It perpetuates misogyny.
Funnels men into supporting toxic masculinity.
How does
and breaks up relationships.
There's a lot of this that doesn't. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
You're-
I'm gonna Google this.
What are you Googling there? The perpetuates misogyny?
Yeah, it helps if I can spell it right.
Misogyny. Jenny.
Jenny.
Misogyny.
Misogyny. J-Y.
Genie.
J-Y-N-Y.
Yeah.
Define misogyny. There we go. Misogyny. the definition of misogyny.
Yeah.
Okay?
We're looking it up just because.
Dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women.
Okay.
So,
How does a heterosexual relationship ingrain a hatred for women? Unless you're talking about the hatred of women toward women.
there's that.
Because there is a lot of hatred of women toward women, and it's like an undercurrent of hatred. You know?
Well, and I was gonna go a little bit lighthearted on that angle because I don't know about you, and I do know y'all's.
You know
but
our relationship.
The girlfriend, talking about the anger against other women.
Yeah.
The girlfriend has made it abundantly clear that she has no problems going to jail if any woman happens to make any passes at me.
Like a pass at all.
Yeah, even a
glance.
even thing perceived as a pass.
Right.
She's willing to go to jail. That is toxic.
That's toxic femininity.
But that's what hatred is. That's what as far as misogyny goes, that's a prejudice, a dislike, or a contempt for women.
From a woman.
From a woman, though. Funnels men into supporting toxic masculinity. How does having a relationship?
No, absolutely not. You know what actually supports toxic masculinity?
Okay.
The most? Being a bachelor.
It does.
Being a bachelor supports the biggest portion of toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking, it doesn't have to, whether it's, they end up going into heterosexual or homosexual.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No.
The fact that you're single, the fact that you're alone in a relationship.
Single male that just goes out with their friends and does a bunch of stupid crap because even if you're gay, you still do the stupid men crap.
Yeah. It just may be on a different
level. But it's still
It's the same
stupid
thing.
men crap.
Mm-hmm.
You can still hang out with the dudes and do the stupid man thing.
Yep.
Okay?
It's all the same.
It's all there.
But, and again, it funnels men into supporting toxic masculinity. And breaks up relationships. This part right here, breaks up relationships. What relationships does it break up?
The ones that have divorce. But that's because you guys are stupid.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say.
That relationship, you're stupid.
The whole part of this, and another little thing that I've noticed is the nuggets on this individual. To completely I don't say just attack, but the whole thing is centered around a man.
Right. She's a lesbian, by the way.
She is, but she's not.
Which means that she's a man hater.
Yeah.
She hates men.
See, but here's this. Okay. Tangent. You can't sit here. I thought the whole point of homosexuality was you were born this way. Isn't that what Lady Gaga said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are correct.
So if you're born this way, then how can you be a lesbian because you hate somebody? That's not being born that way.
Right.
That's something happened to me, and I am therefore reacting to it. Which again, for all intents and purposes, is nothing wrong. You know what I mean? You get bit by a dog, you're not exactly going to go running and snuggling up to the next one you see. You know? So I get the whole, if you have a problem with men, if you don't like it, if you don't want to do that, if you have some actual issue with the guys you've been with before in your life and you just decide, I hate all men. Now, even that's not a big deal.
Uh-huh.
But to sit here and act, oh my God. I don't know what to say to this.
Well, once again, she is a self-proclaimed lesbian and a teacher of sexuality. And a teacher of sexuality studies and gender. Gender and sexuality studies is not a study.
No.
It is not a study. It is not something you should be able to graduate in.
No.
It does not do anything for you. It does not get you a job. You cannot really pursue a career other than teaching it to other people. And it's literally proselytizing.
Well, and you definitely can't do it if you're a man.
And you can't do it as a man.
A man cannot.
This is literally a female-only sport.
Yeah.
It's a female-only sport. It's a nunnery of lesbians.
My cousin just texted me. She goes, men are just dicks.
Yes. Yeah. 90. Well, not all the time. Not all the time. It's about 60% of the time.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and you have and even that is like a kind of a loose thing anyway, because
Well, it hangs there.
Everybody has the potentiality to be a douche,
Right.
Everybody,
Everyone does.
Male, female doesn't matter.
Correct.
It's how often you are that determines all of that.
Guys is about 60%.
Yeah, and some of them are just a douche all the time.
Some of it's 100%.
Some of it is
just there.
That's their
That has
watermark.
nothing to do with breaking up relationships. It has nothing to do with being a heterosexual. It has everything to do with you as a person, individually.
Yep. But nobody wants to look at introspective kind of issues. It's all about everybody else.
As a group.
Yes. It's everyone else as a collective's fault. It's not me as an individual. It's so much easier to blame this person over here than it is for me to look at myself and go, I have a problem with this. And again, so she hates guys.
But
so what? Hate
the-
guys, but at least be willing to admit it and not try to hide it and blame it on other people.
You see, but she has, she has sorrow in her life.
I'm sorry, what?
She has sorrow in her life.
Why?
Sorrow. Insiders, Julia's Naftulin.
Hashtag nailed it and hashtag like a native.
Thank you.
Thank you. English is hard.
It is.
Words are
Reports, quote, she feels sorry for straight people, especially straight women, who
Why?
typically report some of the lowest sexual satisfaction in society.
So this is all about.
It's all about getting an orgasm.
Well, but
That's literally what she's talking about right
yeah, no,
here.
I got that part. But to take it to its actual root, it's all about selfishness.
Yes.
It's boiling it down
Selfishness,
to
yes.
selfishness. Now, that's not to say that women don't deserve to be sexually satisfied.
They
They
do.
do.
Yes.
By all means, it absolutely is an important thing.
Right.
But the fact that you're going to, take somebody's relationship of, you don't know what these two people have been through.
Yeah.
The life that they've lived, the love and the whatever they've created together, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you're going to turn around and boil it down to, well, women aren't sexually satisfied as much as men are.
I'm gonna tell you this much. I will tell you this much, and I know I can say this. I can say this about this woman.
Mm-hmm.
She has a few artificials,
Varying lengths and sizes.
some of which that she can strap on to herself.
I'm pretty sure.
So that tells me that she wants it.
Yeah. See, and she goes on there, and you know what though? Not for nothing. There are people. She's talking about having the lowest sexual gratification. Okay, so maybe for women as the whole,
Yep.
they might have more, but it still does happen to guys. Just like following it up with it, there's situations where guys get into relationships and marriages and whatever.
Yep.
That in that particular situation are severely lacking, unsatisfied.
Unsatisfied, severely lacking.
You know what I mean?
Yep. If all you're worried about is how much you're getting out of the situation and out of the relationship,
Yeah.
you're going to ruin the relationship.
Yeah.
That if all you're looking for is what you get out of it, yes, it doesn't matter whether you're straight or not. Or not. I'm just going to say or not. Straight or not.
Yeah.
Because everything else is an or not.
Yeah, it's or not.
So it's one or the other. You're either straight or you're not.
Yeah. And she's also apparently feeling sorry for straight men
Yeah, she feels sorry for
who are
straight men.
pigeonholed into toxic masculine culture
Yeah.
that teaches them that they both need and yet should also demean women.
Who says that?
I've never seen...
That has never been taught to me.
There's never been a show I've seen. I've never been told that by my dad. Nothing has ever sat there and goes, this is what
Is she like 95 or something?
I don't know.
Like, what are you talking about?
I truly don't know. And again, as the whole thing has gone on with the push for, women's rights and equality and blah, blah, blah. Not that you haven't already had it, but I digress. The fact that this has all been pushed, it's in the culture, it's in the movies, it's in
Right.
the TV shows. This stuff is not tolerated. Do you have instances where it is shown that some bad guy turns around, hauls off, and does something to somebody, to some woman, rapes them or slaps them or, abuse or whatever? Is it seen in video? Yes. And what usually happens to that guy in the end? he gets his.
Yeah, he gets his
one way or another.
He gets it back.
One way or another. He's either killed, he's either arrested and blocked away forever. He gets, the same treatment he give to her, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It always shows that in the end, it's not only is it not right, but it works out in the end, which is that is kind of the fallacy because that doesn't always happen.
Right. Well,
But really,
yeah. Oh no, she is not 95. She's closer to our age.
That makes more sense because she's been indoctrinated in California and Riverdale for
Riverside,
whatever. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in the culture that teaches them that they need that talks again. And I've always wondered, what is this whole idea of what is toxic masculinity? I know I've never seen it. Is it the fact that you believe that as a man that you need to be your best, that you are the, by hardwire, you're the, hunter gatherer, that you are the protector, that you're the one who goes to the front line? I mean, I don't understand why that's such a bad thing. Doesn't say that you can't do anything. I hate how all of these stereotypes of all this stuff is apparently being viewed by all these other people as the end all be all.
Right.
And they have to stop it. And it's not true. Mm-hmm. A woman can do just the same things as a man can.
Yeah, mostly.
Is it a lot easier for a guy to do it?
Yes.
Maybe.
Did we have to reduce all the PT standards to allow women into some portions of the military? Yes. Yep. That means technically it is easier for a man to accomplish things physically.
But I'm talking just in general.
Right.
And this is completely asinine.
If we're talking about civilian life, yes. The answer is yes.
All of it is asinine as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but if we're talking about civilian life, the answer is yes. Are we equal in those factions?
Oh, this is painful.
Yeah.
Quote, it really looks like straight men and women don't like each other very much. That women spend so much time complaining about men, and we still have so much evidence of misogyny that from the LGBT perspective, heterosexuality looks actually very tragic. In quote, and we're going to pick this one apart.
Yeah. Okay.
Starting with this one overlapping thing. So you mean to tell me that there isn't one gay person out there, gay, lesbian, whatever, no quilt bag LGBT person out there has ever been in an abusive relationship, has ever been broken up, has ever
complained about their partner
in any way for any reason. It has been perfect. From beginning to end.
Every not straight relationship has been completely perfect.
Yeah, we all believe that. That's the part that doesn't make sense.
I mean,
that
obviously
right there
that's
is
a straw man. That's a straw man. But so is this.
No, it's not a straw man. That's a fact. You're not going to turn around and if it is a straw man, then it's literally mirrors the straw man that they
That's
put
what I'm
up.
saying.
Yes.
It's a straw man, but it's a straw man that says, well, this is the mirror.
Yeah, it is.
This is the mirror that you paint.
It is.
That you made this mirror. So here's the straw man to defend your straw man.
Here's the thing that I've seen and done too. Here's the thing. It's up to the parents.
Oh yeah.
The children, the young girls that are being raised by women who are complaining about these men and they give them this view of what men are by the choices of men they choose, by the way they treat them, are therefore passed on to the children.
Yep.
Same thing with boys. Same as a father of 3 sons. The way I treat the girlfriend, and even their mother, the ex-wife, it's that sets the example for them as to how to treat a woman or anybody for that matter.
Yeah, how to treat people as people. Like that's the deal. How do you treat people as people? How do you treat a person as another individual?
You know what might work is maybe if you treat them like you want to be treated.
That's kind of the deal, right?
I've
do
heard,
you want to be treated in a certain way?
That's a popular thing from somewhere. I can't remember.
I mean, if you want to be treated like an ass, all right, be an ass.
Yes. But don't be upset when somebody treats you like an ass.
That's kind of the deal. That's where it lays. That's the foundation. That's the focal point that you have here.
This is the kind of stuff that bothers me because the lady is sitting here talking about this whole time, talking about, toxic masculinity and misogyny. Yeah, and all this stuff.
You understand that you're just talking about interpersonal communication and individuals being bad, being bad with relationships, right? You're talking about people who cannot communicate. You're not talking about at all. You're not talking about the relationship being heterosexual or homosexual or whatever, or not. Heterosexual or not. In reality, your problem has nothing to do with the person's partner.
Yeah.
The problem that you see in society has nothing to do with the partner. What it has to do with is that person.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because I want to tell you, okay, this part right here, part, yeah. The women spend so much time complaining about men. Okay, lesbian women also spend a lot of time complaining about their significant other.
It's kind of like the situation you're in. You're just complaining about it.
Whatever situation you're in, you will find minute things to complain about because they aren't you. The person that you're dealing with is not you. And women, especially, love to sit around and talk about it. And they also love to hate each other. Underhandedly. Suspiciously. Almost like they're talking about it so that they can get dirt on each other.
Yeah.
So that they can then use it later and hate each other more.
Yeah. It's irritating because what this lady is doing, her problem with with misogyny and toxic masculinity, and all of these artificial constructs, is one thing. She feels that this lie, this horrible way of acting,
terrible
and
thing.
treating, and blah blah, is being passed on to other generations
just by having a relationship with the other gender.
Yes.
For no other reason.
Completely ignoring the fact that she is doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Literally pot calling the kettle black.
Correct.
And the problem with it is you actually hear more crap and complaints out of this from the quilt bags and LGBT than you do from the straight side.
Yep.
Because here's the deal, straight folks, in normal situations, even in relationships that end in divorce, there is a portion and a point and a moment, 99.9999% of the time, that when they make that commitment to get married and have a relationship and blah, 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 it's good. They're happy. They love each other. They want it to continue. Now, whether or not it doesn't is a whole different conversation.
Correct.
But it happens to everyone.
And let's go back to the one point of selfishness and self-satisfaction. Okay. Having satisfaction in the bedroom, okay?
Well, I can't get no satisfaction.
You can't get no?
Satisfaction.
Oh, yeah.
Which is actually a lie.
No.
I can't say
but really,
that.
let's go to that just for a second. We're just going to touch on this for just a second.
You're going to touch on self-pleasure.
I'm going to touch on women
self-gratification.
Women not getting the pleasure that they want in bed.
Okay.
Ladies, men will go as far. Men will they know instinctively. Men know instinctively, based on the conversations that you've had with them, how far they can go in bed.
Yep.
We know it. We know it back to front almost immediately. Before we even go to that place, we know. We will not cross that line until you give us permission. So you, women, if you want something specific from your man, in a heterosexual couple, if you want something specific, you have to say it.
Yeah.
And you have to say it. If you don't say it, and you don't vocalize that, you will never be satisfied in any relationship.
Well, it goes back to the basic thing where you can't love somebody else until you've loved who you are. I mean,
until you know what satisfies you, how are you going to tell somebody else?
Anyway, This has been Sex Ed with Dylan and Steven.
On Defenders Live.
We'll be back in just a second.
Stereotypes exist for a reason.
Yes.
That's from the Stealth Jackal on the Edge over there on the Twitters. Mm-hmm.
Living on the edge.
You can't help yourself from falling.
Living on the edge.
You can't help yourself at all. Living on the edge. You can't help yourself from falling.
I'm living on the edge. I don't know why I had to.
Living on the edge.
Living on the edge. Just trying to tap in my inner Jack Black there for a minute.
Big Pharma Steve over there on the Twitters as well. So let's get this straight. She's a man hater.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Thanks, B.
What?
You didn't see that?
No. Wait.
B from the SAV. This show's taking a weird twist. Bedroom advice from @DOA Show. Tune in now. That's appreciate you.
Love you, bud. And not in that way. But really, okay. Is it not true?
God.
Is it not true?
Is what not true?
What I just said, is it not true?
Yeah.
As a guy, you know where the line is. Unless you're told that the line is changed, you stop before that line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Unless you are that douchebag, and
unless you're that guy that you just don't care.
Yeah.
And you just keep going to whatever you like.
But again, that's a personal problem.
Right.
That is
a single person issue.
Yeah, that's not.
That's a bachelor issue.
Yeah, that's not the collective.
No,
that's not the group, and
that's not all of us. And please don't lump us together.
Now I hear lump in my head.
This is Defenders Live.
Lump sat alone in a buggy. Sorry.
I couldn't help it. The moment you said lump, I was like, oh God. She's in my head. This is the stuff that happens in between the commercials.
It really is. That's if you guys don't watch us on the videos or you don't listen to us on the podcast, because if you get the podcast, you can hear the behind the scenes and stuff like that. But if you don't listen there and you're only listening on the radio, then you miss a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. You miss a lot. Especially now.
There is a lot. Kevin Hutchins over on Twitter. And you can get on Twitter as well and talk to us @DOA Show. Mm-hmm. Use hashtag arm yourselves.
That's the one.
Kevin Hutchins over on Twitter. Most lesbians can't even fry an egg, let alone fertilize one.
Ooh, sick burn, buddy.
Burn.
Sick burn.
Nice.
That's because they don't like doing all the women and stuff. The feminine and stuff, like cooking.
Yeah. B from the SAV. I'd be miserable if I'd married me, but deciding on what to eat for dinner every night would be a plus.
It'd be easy, right?
It'd be a thumbs up.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, not for nothing, Jerry Reed wrote a song about that. Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Was it? She got the gold mine and I got the shaft.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why he got married, was because he was with his little girl. He got tired of his own cooking or lack thereof. And so since she was going to do it all for him, that he'd turn around and married her and then loses everything.
That's a bad idea right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So... Kevin Hutch is also on Twitter. Okay, misogyny. What is a fancy college term for women who hate men other than bull dyke?
Well, it's not a fancy college term.
No, it's pretty generic, really.
It's pretty.
It's been around for a while.
That's pretty normal there.
Yeah.
Pretty normal.
Stell Jack Hole on the edge. Hashtag arm yourselves. Stereotypes exist for a reason at Dylan Lyles and at Stephen Airy.
Yes.
Yes,
that's very true.
Very true.
Yep. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
So moving on.
moving right along.
This is from CNBC.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Because,
you gonna love it?
I have nothing is
Nothing could be better.
when you think of a news network
CNBC.
of unbiased
Character.
principles, character,
Above everything else.
somebody who just delivers the news, doesn't put a spin on it, isn't about the ratings, it's just about
just
getting
there.
the important facts out to the masses.
letting you know what you need to know.
And letting you decide what to think and how to feel about whatever it is that comes out.
Yes.
The first thing you think of is always CNBC.
Or MSNBC.
Yeah, or LMNOP.
Or ABC.
Or, RT. Al Jazeera.
Or AP.
AP.
All the alphabet soup, really.
NPR.
NPR. Yeah, the alphabet soup. That's what you think of. Quote, tax the rich. Policies have been being weighed in some state houses to cover the COVID-era budget shortfalls.
What? Hold
That
on.
may make sense in the current economy.
How's that so? Exactly.
Well,
You mean, hold on, and let me just for clarity's sake, you're talking about covering the COVID era budget falls. That would be the fact that you have,
paying people for not working.
well, not just that, because it is our money, and I think they've taken enough of it. So yeah, it's kind of nice to get back what is ours. But I'm talking about the fact that they have tried to force people to
Stay at home.
shut down, stay at home,
Yeah.
don't work, and so therefore the economy is tanked almost.
So they have no money because
Completely.
they don't have any tax revenue coming in and all the rest of it. Yeah. So inequality has been a hallmark of the pandemic recovery,
I'm sorry.
marked by job loss for those at the bottom and soaring wealth for those at the top.
It sounded like you said inequality.
Yeah, inequality has been the hallmark of the pandemic recovery, marked by job loss for the bottom and soaring wealth for those at the top.
How is who soaring wealth for who?
So, for those at the top.
Who, like what kind of soaring wealth? How are they
The
making?
ones at the top.
But how are they making money?
Well, they're the ones in the government. Or the ones that have the biggest business.
They're not talking about the government. They're
Well,
talking
the ones
about
that have the biggest business.
They're talking about big business.
They're talking about
yeah.
Amazon.
No, I got that.
Literally, they're talking about Amazon, and
But even Amazon is taking a hit. It may not be tons and may not be noticeable, but
they took a hit. But then they also
it's still
got
a hit
gains.
because they can't sell their wares and help sell other people's wares if people aren't buying, and people aren't buying if they don't have a job.
Right. This so-called K-shaped recovery means that the richest Americans are in better positions to absorb higher tax relative to low and middle earners, according to some economists.
You mean the same ones that have been
Telling us that we
touting us-
needed to spike the rich and
yeah
the
have been
same-
pushing the socialist agenda for
the exact same ones,
like the
yes.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, the exact same ones.
Gotcha.
But it's not just wage income. Officials may also consider raising taxes on capital gains and luxury home sales or purchases, given that stock markets and housing booms were disproportionately reaped by the wealthy, economists said. They may also boost on inheritance from large estates. That they'll pay more taxes. Democrat Governor Andrew Cuomo last week proposed an increase to New York's top income rate to help close the projected $15 billion budget hole, and the largest in state's history. If approved, residents earning $5 million or more would see a hike, which would be the largest one for those making over $100 million. In the city of New York, the richest residents would pay 14.7% combined rates, the highest in the nation.
So again, you want to charge
More money to the people that actually have money.
the wealthy. Okay, so and that's fine. We're gonna put a pin in that.
Yep. Stop it right there.
Where's the line? Where is that line exactly?
Well,
And how do you gauge it? Because a lot of these people, a lot of these rich that they're referring to, I'm gonna throw out something that a lot of people may not catch or pay attention to.
Sure, yeah.
Have you ever noticed that when referring to a celebrity
Yeah.
or some wealthy individual, they always say they're worth X amount of dollars.
Yeah, and they're really not.
Well, no. They say they're worth.
Yes.
Okay. That worth is not the number
It's not
of
the
dollars
actual- yeah.
in their bank account.
It's literally everything
It's
combined plus
everything.
plus fame.
It's what they may have, as part of it is what they reported to the IRS. Part of it is a list of their assets, cars and property and things like that. It's investments that they have. That's what it is. It's all of these little things combined. It has nothing to do with... See what I mean?
As per example.
This is fantastic. We might need to tweet that out.
No. Well, he's talked about this before.
I know, but we're going to tweet it out again in case they haven't done this. But it's not what these people have in the bank account. It's not what they can just go and spend right out there. And a lot of that money is not accessible. It is invested in things, and that includes, again, property, cars, businesses, all kinds of things like that. Mm-hmm. It's not like they have a bank account with $100 million in it, just kind of going, oh, yeah, no, I've got money. I can just sit back and do whatever. Right. Because if that was the case, then they wouldn't be running these corporations.
Right. Well, it's kind of like this. Well, this is from 2018.
Our very own Brad Staggs.
Very own Brad Staggs from 2018.
And we'll post this on Twitter and everything so y'all can see it.
Once again, from 2018. Mm-hmm. Okay.
In 2018.
In 2018.
Brad Staggs.
His
net worth
was considered
to be $900,000.
Now, do we know this for sure? No.
No.
But I do know that when he saw this, he laughed.
Uh-huh.
He laughed hysterically.
Uh-huh.
And he talked about this because somebody found it and sent it to him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's at networthpost.org. and it's
I'm just gonna
and he's gonna tweet it out so everybody can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you probably could find your own yourself on there.
You probably could. Well, not us. Like it's mainly.
Have you looked for us?
Oh, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna be there. Come on, it's about actors and stuff like that. Athletes and actors.
He's not an actor.
All right. Well, he was.
Oh, that's true.
He was on like a handyman show.
That's true.
And like, look, known for.
Okay. No. Okay.
He's been in places.
Okay, but you never know.
Well, okay. All right. Dylan Lyles. Nothing found.
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, he has nothing when you hit him,
and nothing for me either.
Oh, there is, but wrong.
It's not me.
It's not you.
It's not me. That's weird.
Yeah, that's really, and it's not even the same thing.
Not even the same guy.
How do you mix that?
I don't know.
That's dumb. Anyway,
maybe I look like those guys. I don't know.
No, because he's taller, clearly,
and he has a beard.
Yeah, two things that you can't and don't have.
I don't. Yeah, I am of average height.
Yeah, but
and, I cannot grow a beard.
But that's the point. Like, again, going back to the whole thing is, I'll be from the SAV, threw a picture up and everything for you already.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, keep going what you're doing. You're almost done. But he threw
the picture up and all the rest of it.
Yeah. So keep going.
It's a good picture of him. Yeah.
Keep going. No, but again, everything's done in assets. It's not like they have that money in the bank account. So by taxing them means that the money that is in these investments or even in the property, property values eventually start to go down because the money's not worth anything. You have to sell stuff off. If you're not a rich person living there, nobody wants to be around there. That kind of thing. It's really, really weird about that. But I mean, that's the fact of it. So you're going to tax them more, which means they're going to have less to be able to invest. They're going to have less to be able to put in towards businesses or to do for whatever. And it's definitely not going into the bank account.
Right.
So you're not doing anything. And then the follow-up behind that is how those costs then, as those guys being mostly business owners, mostly, selling products and whatever.
Sure, right.
They turn around then and now have to raise their prices to offset this.
Well, because this is the whole thing. So state proposals come as the Biden administration's call for higher taxes on those earning more than $400,000 a year. Yeah, wealth among U.S. billionaires jumped 39% to $4.1 trillion since the beginning of the pandemic. But that's actually
it's a tad deceptive.
That's tad deceptive because you also have massive inflation. You have massive inflation. It's that 4.1 trillion is nowhere close to what it actually is. It's massive inflation, and it's only a very small number of people that actually made more money.
Yeah.
In the higher income brackets. Honestly, if we're talking about over the past 4 years,
Yeah.
I am in the lower middle class. I have made more money in the past 4 years than I had made in my entire life.
Yep.
And I suspect that as I go forward, that I will continue to make more money
It's the plan.
than the previous years onward.
Yeah. And that's the
Like
plan
it may take another 2 years and split 2 years and jump 2 years and jump.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the plan. Okay? That's the idea behind it. I'm not looking to, exponentially, explode. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm not looking to do that.
Yeah. Well, even if you did, I mean, if you know for a fact that you're going to have your taxes are going to jump
Right.
once you cross the $400,000 mark.
You're going to stay below the $400,000 mark unless you know for a fact that your jump is going to outweigh your tax bracket.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't think it's going to ever do that, but still, that's when you start limiting people to doing things. Adam W. Johnson on Twitter. This is like all of the states that depended on tax money from cigarettes only to find people not smoking because they're vaping. It was why they were so desperate to declare vaping super dangerous to justify taxing it at ridiculous rates. It's the exact same theory.
Correct.
It is.
It's a sin tax.
Yes, because we all know that the corrupt government has the right to worry about
Your sin.
doling out punishments for sin.
Right. And is it actually a sin to make money?
No.
That's the deal. Like I thought
It's only a sin to make money if
you're not the government.
if you're not the one making it.
like
That's
if you're
how they
not
look at it.
If you're not in the government.
Yeah,
That's it.
If you're not the
part of
one,
the
if you're not the one getting it, period. It doesn't matter government or not. If they're not the ones getting it, then it's a sin because it's not fair. How dare they? It's blah blah blah. Then you go into the whole equity crap,
Yeah.
and it's not how that all works.
Capital gains is not something that you need to tax more. You shouldn't be taxing the inheritance of somebody. I'm sorry, you shouldn't tax the inheritance of somebody. That's money that was already taxed at least once, if not 3 times, because of interest over time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That money should never be touched. That is money that should be able to just pass along to your generations. I don't care how much it is or how little it is. An inheritance is an inheritance. There is no reason whatsoever that the government should be allowed to touch it just because it passed down to a child to the next generation.
Yeah,
Like if you're passing it, if you're giving it, even if you're giving it to somebody else, like okay, it's no longer going to be an inheritance. I'm going to gift it.
you can do that up to $10,000.
I'm going to gift it $10,000 at a time. I'm going to set up a fund. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a fund, and if I make it like that by the time I die, this fund will then gift over the lifetime of the fund $10,000 a year to the children.
Yeah,
It's like you have an automatic $10,000.
I knew a guy.
That way, it's a gift.
Yeah.
It's not inheritance because I didn't claim it as such.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah, I know a guy whose parents did that for him. He's in his 50s or he's in his 60s now.
Yeah.
And same thing that he gets every month?
He gets like
He gets 10 grand
a month.
a month.
That's a month. That's
month.
different though.
No, it's 10 grand a month, but you can't get more than 10 grand in I think it's a month. Whatever the period. Whatever that period is.
Yeah.
I
thought it was a year.
It might be a year. I don't know.
Yeah.
But point is he gets that limit. It's the exact same thing. Every time because they're like, I'm not paying taxes on that crap.
Yeah, exactly. You're not paying taxes on it.
And
because you can gift it.
Here's the funny part about it is, so we sit here and say you shouldn't have to pay taxes on
Something that's
on
already
an
been paid
inheritance.
taxes. Yeah.
And I agree with it. We're not just saying it to say it. We agree with it. It's already been taxed. Leave it the hell alone.
Yeah, right.
Okay. The joke actually is on, at that point, the government, because you pass money on to your children thanks to the skills and the economy and stuff that they're running and doing. That dollar value has actually dropped by the time it hits to your kids.
That's true.
So they're actually not getting near anything that they could have gotten if they just left it alone and let the kids spend it as is.
Because they would have spent it and used it in the economy. Thus they would have
Bingo.
been taxing it from the economy at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really weird how they just don't. It's. I don't understand why it is that these people don't have foresight. They don't have the. It's always the short game. It's here and now, and
It's always the immediate
and
thing.
there isn't one person on the left kind of going, "Hey guys, I'm kind of looking a little down the road a ways, and this might not be a good idea because of."
Well, there have been.
There aren't now.
But that's the thing. Anybody that looked down the road and said, hey, guys, we need to prepare for this.
Yeah.
We need to start setting up for this. They've kicked out.
Yeah.
They want them out. They don't like those guys because those people make everybody else look bad.
Yeah. Slug Flight over on Twitter. What did Reagan say? Government will tax it, regulate it, and when it finally ceases to move, only then attempt to infuse it with cash.
True enough.
True
enough.
Adam W. Johnson also on Twitter. And with most inheritance taxes are also property, not liquid assets.
Yep.
So then when the kids have to pay the inheritance tax on the family farm, the only way to pay the tax is to sell the farm.
Because the kids don't make enough money to actually pay the tax.
Again, and that goes back to the net worth value that we were talking about earlier with people having, they can have a farm that's worth, $40 million. That's with livestock and equipment and
whole
property
deal, yeah.
and air that just.
Right.
And when the kids inherit it and they have to pay $20 million in taxes, they can't do it because they don't have $20 million in liquid cash.
Right. Immediately.
Exactly.
Online.
And so the only way to pay it is to sell the farm.
Or to become indentured to the government.
Or
by selling their product that they want you to farm.
Yeah. And how does that help that class? How does that help the small?
How does it help the family?
How does that help anybody?
Why is it that there's another thing? Why is it that when I own something, I'm still paying taxes to the government after I own it? Like, I get it. I get paying taxes to something that I don't fully own.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Like, okay, you got me. I have a loan. I'm paying a little bit to the government and the bank and all the rest. Okay, I got you. But once I own it outright, why am I paying the government taxes for shit?
Yeah. Constantly. Every time it comes to you, it seems like you're paying them.
Right.
It becomes the one for you, one for me. Two for you, one for me.
3 for me.
Yeah, I said that backwards. But one for me, one for you. Two for me, one for you. Three for me, one for... And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And they just keep taking it off that top, and then they get all this money, and we're sitting here going, what the hell?
Where's my... Why?
How am I supposed to do this? And then they control you and own you.
Right, exactly. And that's just...
I mean, there are ways. Stell Jackal and she's right. There are ways to set up trusts, or so the trust pays the taxes. And it is. There's a lot of loopholes and stuff that are around it, and that's what the wealthy have been able to do. They utilize those loopholes.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like, what does that do to somebody like me who doesn't have that kind of money to be throwing around and passing around? If I leave my kids, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is,
that's all you got.
That's all it is. And and it took me forever to get to that point for them to have in the first place. I don't want the government then turning around and having taxed it to get it there and then taxing it again to pass on to my kids. Right. And then taxing it when they spend it.
Which is what's going to happen.
Which is how it goes.
Mm-hmm. That's the way they say it goes.
Yeah. Kevin Hutch is over on Twitter. You didn't earn that. We allowed you to earn that, and now we want our taste. You must let us wet our beaks. That is from Uncle Toucan Sam.
Thank you.
It's true.
It is.
Just
it's very
leave it alone. Like
Fruit Loops. It is.
I've never understood why it is that every time somebody from the left gets into some kind of level of power, that this is the angle they think of going. Tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Tax the rich. God, it helps if I could speak. Tumor's acting up today.
Yeah,
really bad. No, I mean, I'm being for real. Like,
I know. You came in and almost had a headache already.
It's been the past week. Like, seriously, it's not been a good week. My had really been having head problems. But anyway, But no, they come in.
Yep.
And they keep saying we're going to tax the rich because this is going to work. This is going to work. They completely forget the people behind them that have tried it, and it's failed. They don't look at the long game
At all.
of what the result of it will do.
They're only looking at that literally
that moment, the here and now.
The next 2 months is what they're looking at max.
And they don't think about. And then another one we haven't even touched on it yet. They don't ever think to cut the budget. They don't ever think to shrink the size of government. They don't ever think to stop spending. No. We're not going to do that.
Right.
We're going to make sure that we get a 20% raise on our paycheck, but we're also going to raise taxes everywhere else so you don't get anything.
Fauci.
I'm just saying. It's so irritating.
No, this is true. Stealth Jackal over there on the Twitters.
Mm-hmm.
No offense. But if you die and leave only $10,000, it should be in cash in a mattress, not in a bank where a government can touch it.
Oh, no, and I agree with that.
Completely.
And actually, there will be instructions on how to. It'll be
where
more,
it will be.
It'll be more like a safe buried somewhere, and yeah,
scavenger hunts.
No, I mean, I don't go that far. I'm not that.
I will.
I'm not that intelligent.
I'll go that far.
I might do that for the will, but not for the money itself. I don't know. Maybe I will.
No, yeah.
Because then the kids can go back later and Grandpa had us go on a treasure hunt to get this money.
Exactly.
That would be kind of cool.
That'd be really
You're right.
cool.
I'll take that. But no, you're right. $10,000. There's no way it's going into like a bank and going that route. I would have instructions though after they do find it. Here's how you get this money into your accounts and everything else
slowly
without having to be taxed on it again.
Like
or reporting it or whatever.
Or just carry the cash.
Well, eventually. I mean, you could do that too. Not that it's going to be worth anything here before too long.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, I was using the low dollar value because comparatively speaking, I would be lucky to leave my 3 boys 10 grand.
Yeah.
You know?
Southern Ohio Jackal over there on the Twitters plowing snow while listening to at DOA show talk about idiotic economies. Economics. There you go. Yeah, sorry about that. I really wanted to do one of these things and sleep in my bed. Sleep in my own bed.
You wanted to talk about idiot economics?
He probably didn't want to be snow plowing.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm guessing he didn't want to plow the snows.
Oh, well,
considering there's not a lot of snow to plow.
Well, but
Mr. Plow,
probably gonna turn to ice out there. Be careful driving,
please.
For real.
Yeah,
like,
please do. We don't want you to get
we're
hurt,
glad to keep you company, and we'll do it, but just be careful.
Yeah, please.
That's all we ask.
Don't get hurt.
Because we need you to get done and go sleep in your bed.
Right. Please go. Get home and go to bed.
Yeah. And
if you have to do that all night, I am so freaking sorry, dude.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, you're not supposed to snow here tonight.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if I'm going to hold my breath on it or not.
I don't know, but they're saying like anywhere between 1 to 6 inches here.
Something like that. Hold on.
Here where I am right now, it's saying like 1 to 6 inches, and closer to you, they're saying 2 to 3.
Okay, according to the weather app on my iPhone.
Yeah, there's like 5 different
It's supposed
versions.
to be raining right now.
Right, which it's not.
It's not. It's 100% chance of precipitation up until
6 a.m.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock it
5
drops
o'clock.
to 70%, and then a 50% at 6, and then it's supposed to trickle away after 7.
Okay, so 100% precipitation.
And it's
starting at now.
Yeah, and according to this,
yep,
it's snowing from midnight until
5.
it stops.
Midnight
at
to
6.
whenever.
So, but because it stops suddenly, because it doesn't trail off in percentage beyond the 50.
Yeah.
And it could just be the way they.
That's just they don't
the
know.
way they gauge it.
You can't really gauge it properly.
No, and I know that, but because they're not going down to 20, 30, 10, it just goes from 50 to nothing.
Yeah,
it's not going to do anything. We might get a light dusting, and that's going to be it, because it turns around and 7:17 the sun rises, and the high tomorrow is supposed to be 37 degrees.
right. So it's hot enough to melt.
The problem that they're for us,
ice,
excuse me, is the ice, because tomorrow night is going to be 19 degrees. Friday's going to be 18 as a low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to dip. And they're also talking about snowing again on Sunday.
Yeah, they've already closed down Wake County schools.
Did they?
Yeah. Like in different counties have already closed and everything in preparation.
Which
for this.
is weird
But
considering
it's
the
mainly
fact.
because of ice.
I know, but I'm saying it's weird that they're going to even cancel. And I understand that most of the schools are kind of doing the half
off and
in,
on.
half out. Yeah.
Yeah, the half and
So I understand that, they still need to make the announcement for those people going, but there's still a majority of the state that's not, it's all
Just say,
virtual.
by the way, tomorrow's going to be homeschool.
Yeah.
Virtual school for all you kids that were supposed to go tomorrow.
Or what do they call it? Asynchronous or whatever that is?
Yeah, the async.
Async. That's what it is. That it's an async day. Y'all just do your stuff and be done. I'm not holding my breath for anything. If we get anything, it's gonna be a light dusting.
That's basically what I'm thinking.
Because we're never that lucky.
If they do it, if it actually happens, it'll be one of the very few times in the South, in North Carolina, to where they've actually predicted something properly when it comes to snow.
Since the 80s, anyway.
Yeah.
80s,
They're
early
pretty
90s.
bad about their predictions.
They are.
You can always count on it to be the exact
And it's never going to
opposite.
be good enough either.
No.
It's never going to be like a foot or
No.
two.
Oh, it'd be so great.
Unless you're in the mountains.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
No, not
guys,
here in Piedmont.
next hour coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Jeez. Tell you what, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. You know it's not going to happen, right?
No, I know.
You wanna?
It won't be long until we find with snow.
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 I want to wash my hands, my face, my hair with snow.
Snow. I long to clear a path and lift a spade of snow.
Snow. Oh, to see a great big man entirely made of snow. Where it's snowing all winter through.
That's where I want to be.
Snowball throwing, that's what I'll do.
And how I'm longing to ski through the
Snow.
These glistening houses that seem to be built of snow. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. It's my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
To see a mountain covered in a quilt of snow.
What
White
is Christmas with no snow? No white Christmas with no snow. Snow. How do you not like that movie?
Because it's about a Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. She hates all Christmas movies when it's not Christmas. Until she started living with me.
That doesn't explain to me why you don't like it. Is it just because you saw it 100 million times? Every single
it was
Christmas
like-
movie we've seen 100 million times.
It's like she was forced to watch it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm working on it.
You better work harder.
It's a hard process.
Apparently.
Longer. Yeah,
Not while I'm here. It's not.
that's later.
Not while I'm here.
Nat Gandet.
Last thing I want to do is sit in a corner with my fingers in my ears going la 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 la.
I don't hear
la.
anything. I don't hear anything.
That'd just be weird.
Like I said, ladies, tell your man what you want. Communication is key. And with that, Dylan walks to go get another cup of coffee. That's right, Bia from the SAV. We got weather on the 57s.
Oh.
Weather at every 10 minutes on the 57s.
Sounds like a plan.
That sounds good.
It's called consistency.
That's right. Be right back.
I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, barely breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
Oh, that's very true. James over on Twitter, so you have to be careful as a weatherman in the South and saying the word snow.
Right.
Because you'll cause a panic at the grocery store. And actually around here, you actually have to be careful because if you don't even pretend to announce it, the possibility every single time
Is that everything will be gone?
no, then what'll happen is you end up running into the situation where, you know, the city shuts down like it did, 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
You remember that? And Atlanta did the same thing a couple years back.
Everything just shuts down completely.
Everybody sees, oh my God, it's a flurry, and they panic, and everybody hits the streets, and suddenly it's 3 days later, you're finally getting home. And
and that's just because a bunch of car accidents and traffic.
I remember that one.
That's good.
And of course, that was all, and it was a little dusting that turned into ice because the temperatures were incredibly cold, and all the cars they would park, it would literally be parked because of traffic.
Road,
so the car would warm the ground. It would turn to ice, or it turned to slush. Yeah. And they would pull forward a little bit. The wind would hit, and it would turn to ice. And eventually just turned into ice.
I think it was about 6 years ago. It had to be about 6 years ago when the actual one that was actual snow happened.
The big one.
The last big one that happened. And we were at Briar Creek when it started to snow.
Oh, wow.
We jumped on 540, which is like the main highway that you can actually speed up on.
Yeah.
And it was 10 miles an hour.
I've done that, though.
It took us 2 hours to get 5 exits down. To get to an exit that we could get off of and get to a different side street so that we could actually drive properly. It took 2 hours.
That's insane.
It was to the point to where the snow would hit our windshield, it would melt and then freeze almost immediately.
Yep.
On our windshield, and the wipers were going, everything was going. Like, it was bad. It was not cool.
Yeah. No, I just cool. The only reason I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't think anything's going to happen. I hope it doesn't, for the sake that I am currently out of wood.
Oh yeah, that would not be cool.
And I mean, granted, we have the central air and it's been running.
But a fireplace is nice.
Well, I just have that because around here, you have to worry about that possibility because we are more prone to having ice,
right, than snow.
Than what we out of power outages due to the fact of ice and falling limbs and blah blah blah. Like it, correct. And I'm sure it happens everywhere, but for us, it's
there's one place it doesn't happen.
Where would that be? You mean it doesn't have ice?
Yeah, Iran.
No, they don't ever have ice.
They don't have that problem.
They wouldn't know what to do.
They have no idea what's going on there.
That's how you fix the whole Iranian problem is you just go out there with a bunch of ice and
somehow make it hail.
Freeze up the streets and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And then they try and drive and they'll never be able to figure out why
sleet
it is
and hail.
Slipping. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then again, they have sand everywhere.
Maybe some frogs at that point.
That'd be good.
That's true.
Well, the Iranian government, by the way, has warned that President Joe Biden to not miss the very limited, once-in-a-lifetime offer, very limited window to revive the Joint Comprehension Plan of Action for the nuclear deal, amid reports that the two sides are already negotiating a return to the accord in secret. You know, the nuclear joint comprehension plan that Iran never followed in the first place.
Yeah, basically where we paid them money to not have nuclear weapons, and they
still
we paid them, and they still did the
and they
nuclear
still
weapon.
built nuclear facilities and
Yeah.
weapons and high grade, uranium. And
So he's
plutonium.
giving them the opportunity. This is a very small, once in a lifetime.
once in a lifetime. No, they're saying that he needs to.
Yeah, because it's right now. Because after that, we can't promise anything.
Right here, right now, one-time offer. See, the regime spokesman, Ali Rabaya, told a press conference Tuesday that the sanction relief will be central to any new talks with the Biden administration. He also denied, as regime's the figures have repeatedly over the past couple weeks, that any secret talks had been held with the Biden's team, despite media reporting on the contrary. Quote,
Right.
quote, "We have not had any talks." I'm gonna stop there. Or contacts with the new U.S. administration so far, and we're still awaiting the official positions of the United States to clarify on its return to the JCPOA.
This is the JCPOA.
Yeah, the JCPOA.
Yeah.
Obligations, and on the lifting of the illegal sanctions that are an integral part to these obligations.
It's a lot of legal speech.
A lot of legal mumbo jumbo. Basically, he said nothing. He said
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. No, we haven't talked to them. No. We're just waiting on them to tell us whether or not they're going to join us again.
Yeah, again, it's the weird, because, we didn't really hear anything
After Trump pulled out,
when Trump said, yeah, we're done with y'all.
bye-bye.
They really didn't say anything. Nothing really happened.
No.
And now that Biden's in, suddenly there's all these threats coming. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it does tend to happen sometimes when a new president comes in.
These
However,
threats, to see how it's a prod to see how the new American president is going to deal with the situation.
yeah, it was
North Korea,
Fat Boy Kim, over in Korea, that was Trump's thing. Now, the thing is the people are only prodding. Now, bear in mind, this is Iran he's dealing with.
Yeah.
China has already made their threats on that. Canada is pissed and threatening war now. Again, the guy has not been in office for a week. Okay? And he's
6 days.
He's literally being threatened with war or violence of some kind or bad things from 4 or 5
Different countries.
nations right now?
Yeah, 4 or 5
right
different
now.
nations. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That Trump had Korea, and that was it. Why? Because they saw what was going on.
They saw what he did to Korea.
Well, not just what went on in Korea. I'm talking about before that.
Yeah.
Because there's always some country that tries to show his ass
yes,
whenever
always,
a new
yeah.
president
Mhm.
comes
Yes,
in.
every time.
Okay?
Yep.
But the reason why it was just Kim and it went like it did and it ended was because Trump was like, I'm not playing games. This is how it is going to go, and this is how we're going to do that. If you want to cooperate, cool, we can work on this and do it this way.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Bye-bye.
yeah.
Otherwise, I've got a bigger button with a lot more weapons.
Yeah, I got more important things to do than to deal with your whiny little butt right now. So just either go along or don't. I don't care.
And what came of that?
We had peace.
What came of it? Not only did we have peace, but we had Trump and Kim meeting at the DMZ.
Yeah. What else?
They had peace talks at the DMZ.
We also were able to get 5 different peace treaties signed with Israel and surrounding nations in the Middle East.
In the previous 4 months, the
Yes.
last 4 months of the administration.
Okay?
That took forever.
Oh, Biden has been in office less than a week, or it might be a week now
and it's
officially.
already all reversed.
And we've got 5 different nations threatening war against us because they saw how it went. He is not a man who walks with confidence. He is not somebody who is actually in place to be a leader.
You want to know why? You want to know a great example of him not walking in confidence?
I can think of
Recently.
Okay, go for it.
Recently, he was in a press conference, right? Camel Toe sitting next to him.
Okay.
He's having a conference, and he said, whatever I decide is going to be the way that it goes. And then he turns to Camel Toe And then he says, excuse me, whatever we decide is how it's going to go.
Oh, no. And the only reason why he did that was because he was trying to pander and kiss ass of all of the...
He's a figurehead. Kamala Harris is pulling the strings on this.
Well, of course she is, but I'm saying the whole point of all of it was to kowtow to all of the people. Well, see, I do care about women. I care about women of color. I want
Sure.
to give everybody a chance. Blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
How can I be a misogynist and decide something for themselves?
I'm not
It's
just
both
a
of us.
regular creepy old white guy.
Yeah, do you know why it shouldn't be a whatever we decide? Because that's not the role of the vice president. The role of the vice president is to advise and support the president. The president is the one in that moment
That takes the run.
reins. Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
his call when it comes to certain things, and that's
Yeah.
it. But
The
that's
VP
it.
is an advisor and a replacement.
That's it.
That's their only job. Advisor and replacement.
And that's why, if you think about it, that's why we never really heard anything from Pence
That is why.
the whole time he was in office.
Well, no, that right there is why the old VP used to be the guy that didn't get elected president.
Yeah.
They didn't have a VP pick.
Yeah.
The VP was the guy that won second place.
Yeah, which is how it should have been. It should
That's how it
stay
should
that way.
still be.
Yeah.
Because it leaves no room, absolutely zero room for this partisan bullcrap.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, if you have, okay, even if Biden was in office,
Yeah.
if Trump was his VP,
Uh-huh.
one, they would never have tried to, they would have tried again to do the whole thing, but they wouldn't have been able to get, what's his face to be the leader of the impeachment trial. But two, the only people that would try to impeach him would be it's like, okay, in the last election, when Trump was president, Hillary would have been the VP.
Yeah. But think about it, the balance there.
That's
To be honest,
crazy balance,
it is,
but it's what we need.
but it is what we need. You don't need somebody like Trump. That was one of the reasons why they hated him, was because they felt there was no check.
Right. He had absolutely no checks. But then again, our country needed that. Our country still needs that.
It still needs that.
They,
But
and by no check, I mean a person that's not political.
yeah, but see, he didn't need the check like Biden. Oh, Biden needs a check. He didn't need the check like Obama needed the check. He didn't need a check like Clinton needed.
Because he didn't try to figure everything out with a pen and a phone.
Yeah, and he didn't have an agenda, and he saw he was leading the country as a business, like what he said
That's what he was going to do. Yeah. Now, the one major issue was the debt. That was the debt. The debt was the issue, is my biggest issue with what he did, the debt.
Yeah.
Because all he did was continue on with the debt, and the debt sucks.
Yes, it does.
It was no good, very bad things. The debt. But,
They can't be 100% winners all the time.
right. But when we talk about things like this, okay, come on. Really? Really?
I'm just...
They're prodding the O'Bidens because they know.
Because, yeah, they know that he is not a leader.
They know that OPEC is going to be formed again.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that.
America's going to join in with OPEC once again. We're going to start buying all the oil from the Middle East, because why would we refine it ourselves when we're trying to kill all oil jobs? All oil and gas jobs are trying to be squashed here in America by our current president, which, by the way, that's not his job. He should not have a hand in that at all.
Yeah, I'm looking up something right now.
What's that? What you looking at?
I'm trying to look up something.
Okay.
If I can get the numbers.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking up, though? I mean, the something? What is the something?
For gas prices.
Oh,
Because gas prices have gone up
they have. They started to, yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
A
They
lot.
spiked over the past month.
Yeah, let's see. A news article from Idaho says gas prices jumped 4 cents to the gallon, the fourth biggest increase in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Florida gas prices reach an 11-month high.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see. Gas prices rise in Austin. Gas prices climbing again this week.
Yep.
Gas prices jump in the first week of 2021. This is all happening because of what he's done,
Or what
and
he's
it did.
going, what they knew that he would go to.
It's jumped 10 to 20 cents in our area just in the past week.
Yep. It's like what was $2 is now $2.20. Now that doesn't seem like that much, but Do that next week, and then the following week, and then the following week,
Yeah.
and then the following week.
Florida gas prices remain at a 10-month high. The average gas prices in Kansas rise to 9.2 cents per gallon in the past week.
Right. See, that's
This is incredible.
and that's an average.
And it's only going to keep going. That's the worst part about it. Like, this is going to keep going. You remember back when they jumped to $4 a gallon? And diesel was $5 and $6 a gallon?
Yeah,
That's
it
coming.
sucked.
That's coming, you
Oh
guys.
no, it's going to be $7 by the time that everything's done.
And here's the thing. The best part about that is now you have no vehicle to go anywhere, so you have to stay quarantined at home.
right. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. You want to know why?
Is it?
You want to know why it's okay? Because Joe Biden has vowed to replace every government fleet vehicle, which is nearly 650,000 cars and trucks, with electric vehicles.
Okay.
That's right. President Joe Biden vowed on Monday to replace the entire fleet of government cars and trucks with clean electric vehicles during his presidency as a way to lead the charge in the climate issue and make good on his promise to launch the clean energy revolution. Is this like his war on cancer?
Or the war on drugs. Why?
Because he doesn't understand that the power that's produced that they have to plug into is still what they would consider a dirty fuel. It's still coal, it's still oil, it's still gas being burned to produce electricity.
No, well, let's look at it from another angle here.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Now, of those 65,000 or 650,000
650,000, yeah.
vehicles,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
most of those are fairly up to date, and I mean within about a year, 2 years.
Oh, yeah, they're going to replace them all.
from being brand new.
Every single
okay,
one. Yep. We'll sell them all.
still have. I mean, and we know they all paid cash for it. That's why the contract works. That's how that goes. I got that.
Yeah, right,
and
right.
We paid for it out of
We
pocket.
paid for it. It's ours.
But some of these cars are, by the time he pulls, if he gets this done right and does like he wants to and gets that swap done, there are certain vehicles in certain places that literally were brand new and will have been dropped off at those lots by the time this goes through.
Yes.
Okay?
Brand spanking new fleet vehicles. Yep.
Yeah, so now you're buying extra. You're
Additional.
spending twice the amount on the vehicle, not counting the fact that you then have to make sure that those places that get it have the ability to recharge them.
Which means you have to spend a ton of money on infrastructure and development to install charging systems in every parking space.
Just right there alone, it's not worth it. Now, you want to phase them out?
Over time?
Okay.
You're talking about...
No, and I mean, that makes sense.
I know for a fact that Joe Biden's presidency is not going to be more than 4 years.
No, I know. There's no way. The country won't make it.
No.
There's no way the country will survive.
It may be another Democrat in 4 years, but it's not going to be Joe
It's not
Biden.
going to be him. It ain't going to be him. But that's what I mean. Like, you want to phase them out section by section and say, as of this moment, you're no longer buying gas cars. You're buying
Only electric.
only electric.
Yep.
And that's fine. Phase them out. That's fine.
Sure.
But to turn around and drop the entire fleet as is, again, some of them literally brand new, nothing, no sticker, no miles on it, nothing.
Yep.
And then they auction those cars off
Yes.
at value. Well, they rolled off the lot brand new. So guess what? There goes half the price right off the cut.
Correct.
So now we've lost money off the resale. And then you're going to turn around and pay for these new vehicles again, on top of, like you said, infrastructure for not just at the location where they're using these vehicles, but they also have to make sure that the towns have charging stations.
Yes. The local towns, the
So
local
now there's going
municipalities.
to be subsidies pulled out for that.
Yep. Federal government has to pay for
Then,
more than that.
with all of that extra money that you just dumped into doing this,
Uh-huh.
it's already not worth doing.
No, it's already...
Financially, it doesn't save any money, doesn't save anything.
It's not worth doing on the one thing.
Well, I was going to say, then you roll into the fact of, let's say you finally get all that, and years down the road, it's paid for itself, and you're finally at the point where you've made up what you've spent just to get it started.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
You've gotten back to that point. You've recouped that somehow.
Maybe. Never.
Yeah, I know. then you're still not counting the fact that the
Maintenance?
electricity, well, I didn't even touch that one yet. That's a whole nother basket of crap I'm not wanting to put my hands into. But
no, sir.
it's true. The maintenance on those things are not cheap. The batteries only last
7 years.
5 to 7 years.
Maximum 7 years.
But what I'm saying is then the actual fuel, the electricity, is still being sent to those charging stations from coal power plants.
Yep.
So how are you saving anything?
You're
not helping the you're not helping the environment
because
at all.
the car itself isn't producing the gases anymore.
But the plant is.
Correct. Not only that. So let's get all that aside.
Okay.
The initial cost,
Okay.
the idea, the rough estimate, this is the rough estimate, is going to cost $20 billion
Mm-hmm.
to buy the cars.
Yeah.
$20 billion just to buy.
That's insane.
$650,000 50,000 cars.
Yeah.
650,000 cars.
And you know what's bad? Just again, a pause, just as a reminder. That means if they also turn around and sell the entire fleet,
Yeah.
as is currently right now, you're looking to get anywhere between 1 and 5 billion. Maybe.
1.5 maybe.
Maybe.
And the cost of these cars is going to spike.
Yep.
The cost of these cars is going to be the moment that they put in the price, like they go ahead and they say, yeah, we're going to order this many now. And then the price of these things is going to spike because it's the federal government buying it. They're not buying it at the regular retail price. They're buying it at the government price. And government price is always 3 times the price
Yes.
because the government can afford it.
That's why you have a $10,000 hammer
Right.
in the military. I've seen it.
The $10,000 hammer
$10,000 hammer.
that came from Home Depot,
the $30,000 toilet seats. I've seen them.
that came from Walmart.
Yes.
Right. That's the thing. It's going to happen. So the price of this is going to skyrocket immediately. This $20 billion is going to it's going to come out to maybe at least $100 billion at the bare minimum by the time it's all said and done. And that's just buying the cars.
Yeah. And I mean, and what's 20 to 100 billion to the deficit now at this point?
That's nothing, right?
It's a drop in the bucket.
But to us, it's a hell of a lot. And it's just one of those things that's not a good idea.
Yep.
It's not a good idea.
B from the SAV over on Twitter. Fuel prices are one of my top business expenses. If I raise prices too much, my customers just go away. They won't connect the dots. They'll assume I'm just too high priced. And it's the truth of it.
It's very, very true.
You know,
That sucks.
I was repoing and towing cars during when we had the spike back up to $4 or $5 a gallon.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing that, and that was, we had to pay for gas and had to count for things, and that rolled over into, trying to keep and maintain contracts with car dealerships and with AAA and things like that. We suddenly weren't, and of course it happened for everybody, but we still weren't among the lowest because now we had to up our prices so daggone much.
Oh yeah, and so one of the companies I was with, they'd pay either one or the other. They'd pay at the time I was driving a lot, and they'd either pay your mileage, or they'd pay your gas price.
Yep, and it was their discretion too, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I got to decide what I wanted to choose, but they had to up their price on their per mile because
match
to at least match.
Ugh.
To at least match. So they went from like 40 cents a mile to
like 60 or 70.
55.
Oof.
55 cents a mile. That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Per mile, that's a huge difference. And I'm like, I'm okay, that's fine, no problem. I'll take the mile. I'll take the per mile run on that.
Yeah, really.
But no, that's what it was. That's how it always was. Like, geez, what are you doing, guys? It makes everything more expensive. Everything is more expensive.
Kevin Hutchins over on Twitter. You must learn to love the debt. I built my fortune on debt. America will have the most beautiful debt you've ever seen.
End quote. God, I hate that quote. See, stuff like that right there, that bothers the crap out of me. Like, why would you ever want to have more debt? I understand you're the debt king, but why would you ever want to have more debt in a government? It doesn't make any sense.
Old Joe vowed, this is Kevin Hutchins over on Twitter again. Old Joe vowed to complete what President Bartlett started and cure cancer on the moon. Then they had to explain to Biden that Bartlett was a fictional president. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Oh, this half hour and actually the hour before also brought to you by American Pride Roasters Coffee. Go to
AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Go check them out over there for literally historically great coffee. You're going to love it. I'm saying.
We're drinking it right now.
Every time you put it in your mouth, you're guaranteed to swallow it. Mm-hmm. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. We'll be right back.
I can't believe it's already like our second hour halftime. We've only gotten through, 4 stories? 3 stories? 4 stories?
Yeah, but...
I mean, it's fine. I'd had a lot just in case, but it's fine. Wow.
I'd kind of rather do that anyway.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 stories,
I'd rather have a whole bunch and then just kind of...
story per segment.
So yeah, that's the reason I like having the second hour is because we can take time and pick something apart and not feel rushed.
Oh, it's so nice to not feel rushed to run through a story and actually go through everything you're thinking about at the moment. What are you looking at?
Oh, just reading this thing. The cup on the detergent bottles are actually designed to be put into the washing machine.
What?
And to be washed.
Why?
Well, because when you dump it or when you pour it into the cup, it always leaves a whole bunch of residue and it's hard to get out and blah, blah. If you throw it in the washing machine, it's extra soap that you can do. So you don't have to fill it as full. And when you put the cap back on the thing, it doesn't make a mess everywhere.
But I got a washing machine that has a dispensing section.
Yes, but I'm saying it's like the fabric softener ball you throw in there. You just throw it in there with it.
Yeah, I get it. I just have a dispensing section on my washer.
Yeah, so most people do, but that's why I said you take that and you just throw it in there with it. Yep.
No.
My mother is posting My Pillow's Facebook specials.
Sure, because My Pillow's blocked everywhere else.
Might as well.
Yeah, why not?
Mike
Lindell from My Pillow.
Bless its heart.
You look tired. Mike, not now.
Wait, what?
What? Oh, yeah.
There's...
Uh-huh.
This is Defenders Live.
Yeah, I know it's a really stupid story. I saw it, but I didn't pull it because I was like, all right, what the heck is that?
So, and not to take too much
we
into
can,
it.
Yeah, we can.
Not to take too much into this, but so they're trying to say that the reason why GameStop's stock has soared is because there's a female as the head of the Treasury.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
Jen Psaki.
Get out of here. Really? What? Okay.
Cut it out.
Stop it. What does a woman being the Treasury head of the Treasury have to do with whether or not guys buy stock in video games?
Or whether or not the video game store is actually spiking. The video game store is spiking because nobody can do anything else. So
that's what I was
buying
getting ready to say.
A lot of games.
Yes.
People are buying more games
because
they can't
something.
They have nothing else to do with their life. They've already streamed everything that they can watch.
Well, then maybe not.
And they can't. They don't buy anything else, and so now they're doing this.
Yeah, they move on to that. It's just
they're
not
playing
about streaming
games.
everything, but yeah, they have to have something to bounce because you can't sit and watch TV all day. I mean, some people can, but. No, I mean, but you can, but like you could do it for a day, maybe 2. But like seriously,
It gets tiring.
Sit on your butt on your couch, and other than to get food and pee, watch nothing but TV. And after a while, you're gonna get bored.
Yes, you have to do something.
You have to do something to break the monotony up, and so I can understand the video game thing. That's why it is. Like you said, it's because people are locked in. It has nothing to do with because there's a female treasury. Shut up.
Shut up, Psaki. What a Psaki shit.
I'm not saying that the lady who's head of the Treasury is not doing a good job.
Yeah.
What I am saying is it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman.
Right. And so
stop it.
That's a bad job from Psaki. It's a bad job.
Just the fact your name's Pisaki makes you a bad
That's
job.
a bad job from Pisaki. But I will tell you this. This is a funny story.
It is kind of funny.
This is funny. I like this one, okay? Casino mogul, a Canadian casino mogul and his actress wife they've been fined for flouting for flouting Canadian
Not flouting.
flouting.
Lord have mercy.
They've been-
What has this world come to
Yeah.
when Canadian casino moguls and his actress wives are flouting?
They've been flouting
How
the
dare
health guidelines after
How dare you?
right. Flouting the Canadian health guidelines after they reportedly traveled to a remote Yukon territory near Alaska last week and posed as motel workers to jump the coronavirus line. They posed as hotel workers so they didn't have to get a vaccine shot. I'm okay with this. I don't know why they're being fined. I'm perfectly fine with this. There's absolutely no reason for a government to be able, whether it's internationally or whatever,
to force you
to
to
force you to get a
inoculated.
shot.
Yeah. Because my biggest problem with this is they come out with this thing in what, 8 to 10 months.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to, and you're supposed to trust that?
No.
But we can't get, and this is all honesty, we still can't build anything like we used to be able to do. What was it? The Empire State Building was built in, was it 3 years, 5 years?
No, it wasn't even that much.
Like a year. It was
like a year.
incredibly short.
Yeah.
Okay? Why? Because they said, you know what? We're going to build this. And they effing did.
They didn't have and all the rest of it.
Yes. So because of all the red tape and all the crap now, is it the same thing as still, that's what we have. Is all the red tape and all the stupidness, all this stuff.
1 year.
Yeah.
Exactly like 1 year.
It took
30 to 31.
Took 1 year to build a 102-story skyscraper.
You can't build a single-story building in New York.
Not even
Now,
that.
you can't build a single story in Raleigh.
I was gonna say
North Carolina.
You can't
in
even
a year.
forget even building. You can't even occupy a new new business in that
right.
time frame.
You can't get a permit.
No.
In a year now.
But because of all the red tape, that's what we're all used to. Is all this red tape. It's all this bureaucracy and crap. And suddenly, because of this, a vaccine is popped out in 8 to 10 months, and we're supposed to be trusting that it's okay. I'm sorry, but they've kind of made this situation.
Yeah.
All these people that are as they call them, the anti-maskers and the vaccine people and all this stuff. The left, all these, they're the ones that created these people.
Yeah, a lot.
When you set this lineup for so long that it has to have these checklists, as stupid as they are,
all the marks have to be met.
All the T's have to be crossed, all the I's have to be dotted. If you beat that drum for so long that now that you want to turn around and rush something and bypass all this stuff, oh, well, it's no big deal. You expect people to just follow along?
And take it?
You're stupid.
Nope.
You're stupid.
Not going to happen.
God almighty.
Knock on that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either.
I just think it's a funny story. I'm not even going to dive into it because there's nothing really to dive into. It's just, good job.
Hey,
You know what?
Obviously they didn't.
Good job. I'm sorry you got fined. There's no reason for you to have been fined.
Well, that was for the flouting. It had nothing to do with them.
Yeah,
jumping
you should
the
have
line
just
for the
stayed
voice.
quiet about it.
Yeah, don't flout.
Yeah, stay quiet about it. That's all.
So what?
It's like
no one loves a bragger.
Right.
You know what I mean? Arrogance is
people don't
the
like
death
that.
of humanity.
And I get it. You're a casino. I got you. But just don't. Just don't do it. Just go do your business. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
There's no reason to flout.
Yeah. B from the SAV. Strange thing happening in the investment markets. Young people are buying stocks based on emotions, people, ideas, and not financial and fiscal policies. Right. It's the Robinhood generation market. Keep rising because nobody is selling.
That's right. Everybody's buying in and buying in and buying in. You don't have this anybody really selling other than
But you will. What's going to happen is eventually it's going to plateau and everybody's going to dump at one time,
and it's going
to crash.
Yep, it will.
And everybody's going to look around going, "Oh my goodness, I don't know what happened."
Right, and then there's going to be a run on the banks.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have the we had the Roaring 20s and then the Depression.
Yeah.
And we're going to have another depression. We're already in a what is it? A repression or what?
I don't know.
It's not a depression.
They keep coming up with all these different names to try and soften it because God knows if you change the name, it changes everything about it, and that's not true. We're in you call it a recession, a depression. It doesn't matter how you slice it. The point is the dollar value is down, the market is down. The work and the amount of money that you put into that dollar that you've earned is not
anywhere
same.
near.
It's not worth
it's nowhere
what
near what it was
yesterday.
Worth. Yeah.
Or the day before, or the day before that.
Nope.
And that's the bottom line. And you can call it whatever you want to. You can paint a turd gold, it's still a turd.
Yep.
And that's what this is. Mm-hmm. Anyway, slug fight real fast over on Twitter. I shall flout if I so desire, Trudeau Beatrice. I love it.
Very good. Very good. Mm-hmm. Big Farmer Steve over there. Wait. They were flautists?
Wrong. Well, no.
Didn't know Canadians were that big into woodwinds.
No, they were. Okay. No,
they were flouting.
They were flouting, not flautists.
There's a difference.
Flautists would imply that they do this on the regular. They've only done it this one time, allegedly, as far as we know.
Right. At least they're not pianists.
Well, we know one of them is. Couldn't resist.
Love to play those keys. Just saying.
That's what they call it.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we have this story, and I think you need to talk about it.
I think you need to read this one.
You definitely need to read this one
because this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, this is you need it. Yeah.
All right.
Please, take the floor.
It's just So the White House climate envoy,
John Kerry.
Real fast. Have you noticed? I don't understand why they have to change the titles.
These names.
Yeah. With Obama, they were czars.
Yep.
I can't remember what Trump called him, if he called him anything.
He had czars, but
were they called czars?
He had some czars, but mainly they were just like reps.
But I mean, that's what it was. He just called it at base level. He didn't come up with everything. But then, now we have Biden in office, and now it's an envoy. Really? Shut up.
I thought an envoy meant a large group.
I thought an envoy was that piece of crap car they sell.
That was.
That's what I'm thinking.
Was it GMC?
Chevy.
Yeah, same thing.
Or it might have been GMC. Same thing. It's the exact same company.
Just different.
There used to be like the off-brand, and they literally are selling the same crap.
They just bought it.
Cadillac, Chevy, and GMC. There's a reason why they're all listed together, because it's the exact same vehicle. One just has a different name on it. Same parts and everything.
Yep.
Correct. Like I learned a long time ago, did you know that the Ford Ranger and the Mazda B2500 truck, little pickup pup trucks, is the exact same thing?
Different tags.
My brother, no, not even that. My brother owned one. On the steering wheel, it said Ford. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't an aftermarket thing. It came from the factory that
As
way.
Ford, yeah.
Yeah, because they're the exact
Mazda
same
bought
trucks. The body is just a tad different.
Yeah,
and
Mazda
not
bought
even
the parts, and then they just
Anyway.
reformed a little frame out.
Anyway, White House climate envoy John Kerry attempted to reassure fossil fuel workers concerned about losing their jobs under President Joe Biden's climate change initiatives.
It's not fossil fuel.
Yeah, well. Did you know what he said? He calmed them down. And this is fantastic, actually. It put me at ease.
Put you at ease?
It did. It made me feel better.
Made you feel so much better.
It did.
Right, very
It did. If I was in these guys' shoes, I would be like, silver lining. There's a good, the sky's bright today, blah, blah. You know what he said? He said that those that are displaced could find, quote unquote, better choices. Than doing, gas and oil and
so
stuff
you're
like
saying
that.
that their job choice was just the wrong choice.
Yeah, that by them being laid off gives them the opportunity to pursue better choices.
Like painting
or
poetry. Like Nancy Pelosi
like
talked
Nancy
about.
Pelosi said. Yeah, or White House climate envoy John Kerry. He added one to that list.
Oh, right.
Like making solar panels.
So that's a direct correlation.
It is.
It, right?
It is.
Like just working in the oil fields, immediately guarantees that you can make solar panels.
It does. Most people don't actually pay attention and realize this, but they are synonymous.
One and the same, right?
Hand in hand.
Oh, it's the same thing.
It is. It's like the difference between making plastic and making foam.
Yeah.
One of them, it's the same materials, it's the same putty, it's
Yep,
the same,
same deal.
chemical
Right.
mix-up.
Yep.
The difference is one of them is put under high pressure and high heat for a certain amount of time, and the other one is molded to however it's supposed to be and cooled. That's the difference. So it transitions. It works across the board. You didn't know that
it's a straight
oil
it's a
and
perfectly-
gas.
perfectly horizontal
Yep.
transition.
They won't even know. They won't even know that they've really changed anything other than
Minus
the fact
price of their hour.
that, yeah.
Because the per hour job of building solar panels is nowhere close to the per hour job of the dangerous work of working in oil and gas.
Yeah, but it's a better choice though.
It's a
better choice.
Less money, less benefits,
A whole lot less opportunity as far
whole lot
as
less
finding a job in the
opportunity.
first place.
Right, because there's only so many manufacturers of solar panels.
And those are flying off the shelves.
Oh yeah, so much right
like
now.
the demand right now for solar panels.
Oh, tell you what.
Because does anybody else thought it just I don't know, maybe it's just me. I haven't heard anybody talk about this before. But doesn't anybody find it odd that the federal government, who is trying to squeeze every single penny out of us they can possibly get, is pushing
And subsidizing.
but forget the subsidizing part, just pushing, period, and promoting, what's the word I'm looking for here? Energy independence for the people.
For the people.
Now, does that not sound a little weird to you?
Well, I mean, the last time
we just had this, but I'm saying we just had a discussion earlier about even, inheritance taxes and blah, blah, how they double tax everything and blah, blah. They're so hell bent on getting money and squeezing everything out of us but they're going to turn around and push and promote the people to have solar panels so they can be energy independent.
Of course. Well, it's very similar to the time when we had global cooling. Remember global cooling?
I don't keep up anymore. It's just
global cooling.
I hear global and then all I hear after that is
global
wah,
cooling
wah, wah,
happened
wah.
like in the 80s, 70s and 80s.
I didn't
That was
care.
global cooling.
I was playing baseball and stuff. I didn't care.
Whatever. You were playing baseball in the 80s? Really
Little
young?
League.
Oh. Really?
Well, actually, in the 80s, I was playing soccer
Okay, thank you.
because that's all I could do.
Run and kick a ball.
Yeah.
So as in the 70s and 80s, they had this whole thing about global cooling. Global cooling,
Okay.
right? In that same time period, they decided that the government decided that they were going to not allow people to buy natural gas anymore. Personally. Because the world was going to freeze to death
Oh yeah, I've heard.
and
all that.
they
Yeah,
needed
yeah,
to
yeah.
stockpile natural gas.
I remember that.
Yeah. Natural gas never recovered.
Nope.
Still hasn't to this day.
No, and it was actually had a chance to be able to thanks
With
to fracking
fracking.
and everything else, but
It still hasn't gotten back to the
yeah,
previous numbers.
old Biden is so hell bent on destroying it that it's gone.
Right.
Asking for a friend, Jackal over on Twitter. Just for clarity, a recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours.
Correct.
Hashtag just saying. Hashtag arm yourselves. That's true. That's very true.
Yep.
During a press conference Wednesday, Biden sweeping climate initiatives, Kerry was asked, quote, "There certainly are oil and gas industry workers who are watching you both, right? And who will hear the message that the takeaway to them is that they are seeing an end to their livelihoods. Well, what do you say to them? Particularly those people who President Trump struck a chord with on the campaign trail when he promised to save their jobs."
Yep.
Kerry said Biden, quote, "He has expressed in every comment,
It's very hard to do his voice.
I know, just said, yeah, he's expressed in every comment he's ever made about climate that the need to grow the new jobs that pay better, that are cleaner."
Well, first off, they don't pay better. They do not pay better.
Yeah.
You can go to an oil field right now and you can make six figures as almost brand new. You could be like 80
Off,
grand.
yeah, as
off the
low
street,
level.
brand new guy.
Yeah,
80
never have done the
grand.
job before.
80 grand.
Yeah. as a brand new in training, never
Yeah.
done it before in your life,
Uh-huh.
you could be making $80,000 to $100,000 a year starting.
Right. No education, no
Walk
nothing.
in off the street.
Yep. Straight off the street. Is it going to suck? Yeah. Is it tough? Yeah. Are you in harsh climate or weather? Yeah.
But they're paying you
But
to
they're
compensate
paying
for
you to do that.
What is the keep going?
Well, yeah,
Canadian.
go in there. But that's the deal. You're doing it because one, it's high pay for low education. So the threshold is different. Anybody can do that job. Anybody, it's a hard labor job. But anybody can do it if they have the physical wherewithal, if they
Yeah.
have the idea, if they can look at it themselves and say, you know what, I can do that and I'm going to do it. Now, I wouldn't because I've got a rather large family for these generations that we're in now. And moving them out there would be not only troublesome, but harsh. And my wife can't handle that cold. And so it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Let's see.
But I mean, if I wanted an immediate pay jump to 80 grand, yeah. Especially if I was single, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would
or
be
if my
too.
or if my family was like, yeah, let's go. Hell yeah.
Or if we didn't have other, plans and dreams.
Yeah,
and
if we didn't have other
aspirations.
plans and dreams.
This is not helping me. I tried
what
to
are you
find out.
trying to
I was
do?
trying to find out
You
what.
keep on trying to look for stuff. And
I
it
do.
Really, it prolongs everything.
Well, no, it
weird.
doesn't prolong everything.
Just
I'm trying to be accurate. No, like, oh, maybe it's this that button. Let me see. Does that change anything? No, it's the same damn story.
What are you looking
I
for?
wanted to find what the median.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, I have it on news. What the hell?
Median.
Okay, hold on. ZipRecruiter is seeing annual salaries as high as $104,000 and as low as $2,100 or $21,500.
21.5. Yeah. So literally from minimum wage.
Yeah. For the majority of solar energy technician, that's what I was trying to look at was the median cost, the ballpark. The majority of solar energy technician salaries currently range between $35,000
Uh-huh.
a year, which is about 25%, to $59,000 a year. And that's the other 75, with the top earners making 92. So let me get just again, for clarity's sake, you can walk in to, we're comparing apples to apples.
Yep.
Walk in off the street, no experience, no nothing, onto a refinery, or oil rig, whatever,
Yeah.
land a job making $100,000 a year.
Here you go. On an oil rig,
Uh-huh.
average 77,000.
And that's still average.
That's the national average.
yeah.
It's the lowest in the United States is 49.6.
So the lowest for an oil rig salary is 49. The lowest for a solar tech is 35.
Not 21.
Oh, I'm sorry, 21. Yeah, you're right.
Lowest is 21.
So 21.
So the lowest for solar is literally minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
The lowest for oil is well above minimum wage.
Almost double. Oh, like
You're looking at 12 to 15 versus 20 to 25
so
an hour
tell me again how solar
off
is
the
better.
street.
And again, if solar does what they want it to do, becomes self-sustaining and then makes you energy independent, blah, blah, other than the occasional one or two people to float around and have to replace something due to damages of weather and everything else,
Yeah.
it's not really a booming economy that involves a whole bunch of people.
Right.
So what happens when that gig's up? You know what I mean? Whereas oil, as of right now, and I'm not saying that polluting the environment is how you go, but oil is at least used in a whole bunch of stuff. You can
Everything.
Yeah.
It's used in the plastic to make your solar panels.
Yeah. So it's always going to be a market. It's always going to be needed for something at some place, and it's not exactly going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
Could we learn to make it more efficient? Could we learn
they
how
have
to
been.
be greener and safer on the environment?
Sure.
Absolutely.
We're not there yet.
But forcing it doesn't make it get any faster.
No, it would be better. It would be better because it's the same thing with any technology.
Mm-hmm.
The people with the most money go ahead and they invest in that tech because they know eventually it will do.
Mm-hmm.
Like
giant big screen TVs used to cost, I don't know,
$100,000,
$100,000.
yeah.
Now you can get a big screen TV for $600.
Oh, I bought mine at Walmart for $250.
There you go. $250. You can get a 55-inch TV.
Yeah.
That's something that was unheard of 10 years ago.
Yep. I'm going to take it a little bit crazier on a level. You know that eventually, at the rate it's going right now,
Yeah, we're looking at
thanks to what you're talking about
Yeah.
with people investing in it and doing the research
Other
and
than
stuff
the
that
government.
way. Other than the government.
Right.
As of right now, public travel in space will be affordable. As of right now.
Yes.
Why is that? Because you have Elon Musk,
Yes.
who is turning around and saying, I'm going to do all this stuff.
I'm going to
Poo-poo
set
on
the
all of you.
groundwork. I
Yes.
don't care.
And then you got people like Virgin just launched satellites and was able to. I've seen all this stuff. It keeps growing, and it's now it could be easily killed before too long. There's all
Sure.
these little things that could come along.
Right. Everything can happen.
But because of what he's doing as long as nothing changes and it keeps going the way it is, there will become a point where it will be nothing to be able to hop on a rocket and go to the moon. And it won't cost the $35 million or whatever the hell it costs now. It'd literally be like buying a plane ticket.
I'm still trying to figure out why we don't have the hydrogen-powered cars like we had.
Again, right?
The hydrogen-powered car that was created and then crushed because the federal government gave money to the manufacturer and said, stop producing it forever.
Yeah. Again, doesn't that sound weird? They did that to probably the single most efficient car ever created.
Yep.
But they want to make sure you have solar panel. How does that make sense? Nobody
Doesn't make
finds
sense.
that a little bit odd.
It doesn't make sense.
The Washington Examiner reported that Kerry noted, quote, coal has been losing out to cleaner, cheaper fuels in recent years.
Clean coal.
Yeah.
Coal's been losing out to clean coal.
Yeah, that's okay. And that jobs installing solar panels and wind turbines are among the fastest growing before the Wu-Tang clap slowed that momentum down.
That is a complete lie.
Yeah.
That's a big no.
Nobody wants to.
Some of the biggest growing jobs were in oil during the last 4 years.
Yeah. Quote, what President Biden wants to do is make sure these folks have better choices, that they have alternatives.
Alternatives.
They could be people who go to work to make solar panels.
Okay.
End quote. Now,
That is a line job.
Well, I'm going to take exactly what he said, verbatim, and we're going to take his logic in exact words. He wants to give alternatives.
Alternatives is fine.
They could go work making solar panels.
They could do that.
That does make an alternative.
That is an alternative.
Until you shut down
The oil field.
the oil fields. And then there is no more alternatives. Now there is no other option.
Right. Or you shut down the XL pipeline build. Now there's no alternative for them. You just killed the alternative and you made it the only.
Yeah.
When you make an alternative the only, it is no longer an alternative. That's kind of the definition of that. It means
that's a
other
good
than.
one. That's a good one. Real fast. Forcing the Tech Route 2024, forcing us to give up the incandescent light bulb before we were ready, resulted in years of toxic mercury as CFLs before the LED finally became viable.
Right, because the LED lights were incredibly expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're a lot less expensive.
Yep.
A lot less expensive. And it's easier to get. And heck, I love them.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's climate official went on to say, quote, unfortunately, workers have been fed a false narrative. They have been fed the notion somehow dealing with climate is coming to their expense. No, it's not. What's happening to them is happening because of other market forces already taking place.
Right. Right.
End quote.
Other market forces.
Other market forces. It's not the government.
No, the
Forcing
government isn't doing this.
things.
Come on, it's just other market forces that is the government.
You know, because again, and one of the things we've touched on it, but we've never actually, elaborated on it being a key driver in all this too is
Right.
the resurgence of OPEC. And what is that going to do to fossil fuel? And I say fossil fuel. What is that going to do to the oil and fuel business on our side?
On ours, it's going to crush it.
It's going to destroy it, and then we have no other choice. And then we'd go. It's a literally forcible thing, just like the incandescent light bulb that Tech Roo referred to.
Yep, we're going to be
Now we
forced to
will
rely
have
on them again.
no other choice, or we continue to pay OPEC.
Oh God, please no.
And that's what
God,
we need
no.
to do.
No.
Pay OPEC on top of sending them funds and everything else as long as we have been doing for absolutely no reason whatsoever, and putting ourselves further and further in debt.
Right, and killing our entire economy just to get oil from the Middle East when we can produce it and refine it ourselves in a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
Because that sounds great.
It does. James over on Twitter's, when you build a car that runs on water, can you imagine why the government crushed it? They
Yeah.
caused droughts.
No, it wouldn't.
That's
All it releases is water back into the air, and then that's fine.
it's weird.
Water vapor goes back into the air, and then it comes down as rain, completes the cycle. It's like we're actually recycling the water.
It's weird how that works out.
Yeah.
Anyway, this half hour is brought to you by American Pride Roasters. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Woo! Historically great coffee. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. And if you will, just send it to us and we'll drink it for you. Don't worry about it. Go
Guys-
to Mojo50.com, DOAShow.com. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.